Hey everybody, how's it going? Good, I hope. My name's R. So, how are we being bamboozled? I'm going to show you how literally 95% of the golf swing has nothing to do with the game of golf. Besides this tool that we use, everything else, everything else, is something we've all been doing since we were little kids. Stick with me to the end, I promise you will agree. All right, so I set up a lesson with an instructor, told him I've never golfed before. Let's head over to the swamp and see how this goes. So here we are at the swamp. I call it that because 5 feet behind the net, it's a swamp. Plenty of gators and cottonmouths. I'll take you back there sometime and show you. So I'm just waiting on the instructor, warming up with my throwing motion. Don't worry, this isn't a throw your club kind of video. That's stupid and it doesn't work anyways. But I have a reason for this. Oh, here he comes. Oh, he's got all these alignment rods through his belt loops, some weird contraption on his wrist. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Okay, let's get started. Where's your club?
I don't need no stinking club.
Sure you do.
Look, who's paying for this lesson?
You are.
Well, then we do things my way. Got it? Oh, come on now. I'm just teasing. But you can tell the way I feel about these guys. Oh, yeah, I just need you to confirm that everything I'm doing with my lower body and right arm is correct. You can see my lower body. I'm pivoting on this hip. Weight shifted over here, weights get shifted back to here, pivot towards the target and face the target. And the sequencing is perfect because it's natural. It's what I've been doing my whole life. It's what we've all been doing our whole lives. And how about the right arm? Well, let's see. You got your 90 degrees here, full wrist cock coming through, and most importantly, leading with that right elbow. How many videos have you seen trying to teach you to lead with that right elbow? We all do that every time we throw. Every caveman throwing a spear at a dinosaur. Every aborigine throwing a boomerang at a kangaroo. That's what we all do. It's ingrained in us since childhood. It's natural.
But you got to be bent over.
Okay, so what kind of throwing involves bending down? We can bend down and throw whatever we want. Doesn't matter. But there's one kind of throw where you bend down the same amount every time. And that's skipping stones. Watch this. Bend down to here because you know you got to release it down here to skip on the water. And if you notice, the sequencing is all still there. Leading with the right elbow, it's all still there. Boy, this is starting to look a little bit like a golf swing, isn't it?
Whatever, but you still don't have a club.
Okay, so I have a number 8 club here. Remember I told him I've never golfed before.
That's called an 8-iron. Let me show you how to grip it.
Well, I'm thinking I'm just going to hold it like I hold my stone.
I don't think so.
Well, let's see. Let's get a close-up of this. Okay, here's how I hold my stone. Take the stone out. Here's how I hold my club. Fits in there pretty good. Let's see. Hold it like that. There's my stone. Take the stone out. Fit the club back in there. Yeah, I think I'll hold it like I hold my stone. Turns out not even the grip is unique to the game of golf. Okay, so I finally got a club, but I'm still just skipping stones. Took me about a minute to switch from the stone to the club, making sure I'm in the same positions as when I'm skipping stones. Then I went and filmed it, and lo and behold, I had this position here, club parallel to the ground, coming into the ball with a square club face, hands ahead of the ball, forward shaft lean, and then full extension right here. And then the club just does what it wants. You know how many years I tried to put those positions into my bad swing? That's when I realized it doesn't work like that. You can't put good positions into a bad swing. It already has bad positions built into it. You have to find and switch to the swing that has the good positions, and this is it.
Dang, you learned that really fast.
What are you talking about? You haven't taught me a thing. Okay, you taught me it's called an 8-iron and not a number 8 club. But besides that, everything else I brought with me, I'm just skipping stones over here. You didn't teach me to do that.
Whatever. But you're still only using one hand.
You know what? I think I've had about enough of you. You're fired. Hey, somebody had to do it. Boy, he got me so uptight, my ash almost fell off my cigarette. Okay, obviously the whole lesson thing was just a joke, but you get my point. And he was right. I do need to put my left arm into this. So I'm thinking, since I have all the positions I already want with just my right arm, how do I involve my left arm without affecting those good positions? Well, that took me about 10 minutes to figure that out. And then you learn how to use the left arm for more power and speed behind it. And you've got your own built-in model. If anything goes wrong, you just go back to your model and make sure you're mimicking all those moves. Now you tell me, does this look any different than this or this? It's all the same. I'm still just skipping stones. Okay, that's the 95% of the swing that we all have naturally ingrained in us since we were little kids. The other 5%, where do I put the ball because it'll probably have a new low spot? How far do I bend over to make it consistent all the time? And making sure your club face comes in square. It's not rocket science, even though that's what they want us to think. Okay, another thing I noticed with this skipping stones swing, did you ever notice how pros always seem to be sideways by the time they're coming into the ball? I tried for years to get that into my old bad swing, never helped. But it's built into this skipping stone swing because every time we throw, we kind of turn sideways before we throw. Is that coincidence? I don't think so. You take a computer in any pro swing, remove his left arm and club, and he's going to look just like he's skipping stones. I guarantee it. Okay, so I've thrown things hundreds of thousands of times, if not millions of times in my life. And never once did I get stuck back here, or never once did I early release. Could you imagine skipping stones and throwing it in the dirt and missing the lake? Or never once did my sequencing not work, because all that's the ingrained part that happens without you even thinking. I remember an instructor asking Rory McIlroy what he does with his hips, and Rory says, "I don't know, I never thought about it." The instructor's mad because he wanted to talk about what you have to do with your hips in the swing. And I was like, why would Rory think about that? That's that 95% that's already ingrained in all of us. He's thinking about that 5% that really matters. I mean, when you throw something, do you think about what your hips are doing? Or chop wood, do you think about what your hips are doing? Or throwing a bucket of water on a fire? And they all do the right thing. You've got to learn to take advantage of that, put it into your golf swing, so you only have to think about that 5% that really matters. Okay, so I'll go into this in a lot more detail in other videos. For right now, I hope you see how we're being bamboozled. I mean, they took a fairly simple task, turned it into the most mind-boggling complicated thing you could possibly imagine. They have us so mixed up, we don't know what we're doing. I mean, just because you put on a pair of golf shoes doesn't mean you have to totally relearn to walk again just because it's golf. It's really no different than any other physical activity we've all been doing our entire lives. Now, I'm 71. I've been golfing for 40 years, probably had the same swing for the last 20 years, and it took me 11 minutes to learn this new swing, and it gets easier all the time. What it boils down to is if what you're doing is not natural, if you're trying to force or even thinking about anything else, it's probably not going to work. And the skipping stones swing is about as natural as it gets, and it works. By the way, this good-looking guy over here with the Spanish moss wig is Paul. He played the part of the instructor. Okay, that's about it. First, I want to thank everybody who stayed to the end of this video. Hopefully you like what I had to say. If you have any comments or questions, please go to the comments section, and I truly would appreciate it if you would subscribe and like. So until next time, see you at the swamp.